It's the July garden in Garden Zone 9A, and I'm going to be giving you my last garden tour of the season. So let's check it out. Hey friends, it's Barbara Sue at Kowalski Mountain, and welcome back to our channel. We are back at home in Florida, so we are in Garden Zone 9A, and it is a very hot summer day. Now, I probably should have done this earlier, but I've had a busy morning and that didn't work out, so I'm doing it anyway. It is currently 91 degrees with a heat index of 105. Now, thankfully, what I'm going to be doing today isn't going to take long, because today I am pulling out most of our garden. Let's see what we've got left. Now behind me, you might be able to hear that mama turkey. She has two babies and they like coming in here, and I don't like her coming in here because I do still have some vegetables and I don't want her eating them. So we keep the gate closed, and so she's probably going to be calling to her babies quite a bit because she's a very protective mama. So enjoy the turkey sounds. So right here beside me are the green peppers, and there's some yellow and some red, and they're actually still doing pretty good, and we are still harvesting peppers. Now I have a good amount of chopped peppers frozen in my freezer, so the rest I have been making my cheesy stuffed venison peppers and putting them in the freezer. So even after the garden is long gone, we are still going to be enjoying garden fresh vegetables and our favorite way to use peppers. Now the peppers are still blooming and still producing well, not being affected by much bug pressure. They look like they could use a little water. But I'm hoping to harvest peppers for a little while longer. There's those babies, can you see them? She is talking to them. She does not like me near her babies. There we go. There you can see. Your babies are safe, Mama. She's an aggressive mama, so I stay clear. Lots of nice peppers in all stages of development. This one has a spot on it. I might pick that one just because I don't like that spot. I don't want that to go to waste, so we'll pick that early so we don't lose it. There's peppers in all stages. Flowers. Oh, that's a pretty one. Baby peppers. Medium-sized peppers. All kinds of peppers. Oh, here's a bunch of flowers. Look at that. I hope peppers grow as well in Kentucky as they grow in Florida. Now this is Joy's okra, and this okra is well over 6 feet tall. I just admire these flowers so much. They're gorgeous. And there's some okra right underneath, you can see. I don't even like okra, but I grow it for the flowers. Now this is not mine, this is Joy's. But when on the farm, I'll still grow it for the bees. Now the green beans are pretty much toast. So these are coming out today. They produce well. I canned about 16 pints plus all the fresh eating. And I also froze some, so we got a good harvest of green beans this year, and I'm super happy with it. Did you see all those bugs fly out? That was gross. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to clean all the vines off the fencing. I don't like to leave old vine on there, so I'm a little fussy about that. That's just me. Now, if all goes as planned, this is our last Florida garden. So it's time to pack this stuff up. The cantaloupe is looking rough. And I just saw a squash bug on it. I don't know where it went. We didn't harvest a single cantaloupe. They all died, they all rotted. So this is gone. Out of here. Which is really disappointing because it's still flowering, but it's not worth watering. You gonna get my camera wet?
No, just shoot.
You ain't touched me yet. So I'll leave some of that organic matter there to replenish the soil. He thinks he's being funny, trying to get me wet. He's not being funny. I want to clean this up, don't make it muddy. Come on, Mama. Out. Out, out, out. Come on. Come on. I ran Mama Chicken out of my garden the other day, and I finally figured out why. Let's go take a look. I didn't even notice this on Saturday when I took care of the garden. But that's why. Someone is wanting to nest. She's a little broody mama. Look at her trying to come back. She's gonna get run off again. Whoops. I'm almost done with this side, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's left. Not much left. These are all the green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers. And then over here is a hot pepper. And I've got to look up what kind it is. I'm not touching these without gloves again. I tasted that pepper for days after I cut some up. So I will make sure to wear gloves when I handle this fruit anymore. Now just to include you on Joy's side, she's still got quite a bit of stuff here. She's got some winter squash there. These crazy tomatoes, look how tall those are. Eric and Jess have some grapes. Those long beans are still over here. Still got lots of long beans. It's still flowering right up there. And then of course her okra here. She has a lot more to her garden than this, but this is what's over here. And that's our side. It is finished. Look at all these grapes. I'm so excited about them. They did really well. Very happy with these. Lots of water today. I hate it when you're almost done with your garden tour and you remember that and you realize that your camera focus is not correct. Hopefully it worked. So the tomatoes are about done. As I told you today, the heat index is 105 and it's been that way all week, which is why Philip is inside because he works outside every day in the heat and he only gets relief from it on the weekend. Now, I work inside all week, and so I don't mind being out in the heat for a little while on the weekends. But just from a quick surveillance, the tomatoes are pretty much done. I don't see any more blossoms, although they do have fruit. So I'm not pulling the tomatoes today because I want to take full advantage of the fruit that's left. Now the leaf-footed bugs have started to come in, and I've noticed a few. So as soon as this fruit starts to blush, I've been pulling the fruit. Now you know me, I like it to vine ripen. But once those bugs come in, I can't do that or I'm going to lose my tomatoes. So let me see if I can find one. Haven't surveyed in here today, but I've seen them in here this week. Now the leaf-footed bugs are very distinctive. They kind of look like a stink bug, but they have really big part on their legs that looks like a leaf. And I'm not seeing a single one because I want to show you one. That plant looks done. What's this? Nope, not there. Maybe they don't like the hot either. I'll come out. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. We found one. Right here. See it right there? See if I can catch it. So this little leaf-footed bug, I hope you can see him. He looks very distinctive. He's got this stripe on his body, And he got away. They have a white stripe on their body, and they have the very distinctive leaf-looking things on their legs. They pierce the tomatoes and they ruin them. They just rot. So now that those are coming in, if I can keep up with them, I can still save the tomatoes, but you know what? It's hot. The tomatoes aren't really blossoming well, so it's time to let it go. So once the fruit stops producing, or the fruit that's here is ripe, I will pull out the rest of these tomatoes, but I'm not going to do it today. Let's go ahead. Oops. Not too shabby for a hot July day. I have a whole counter covered with these now, so we're really doing okay. Now these are those little tiny tomatoes. They're still blossoming, they're still producing like crazy, and like I told you, they're for fresh eating. You have to eat them pretty much immediately, or the skins, or they go bad. So they're really day of eating and picking. I'm gonna pick a bunch. I eat them like grapes, but I always use my scissors and I try not to tear the skins. So I'm not sure you can kill these. They never die and they always come back. Now I really like these. I take them to work by the bagful and I eat them like grapes. People think I'm weird. Do you eat tomatoes like grapes? I can't be the only weird one. Now I'm going to leave the rest and I'm going to pick them as I want them. Now I don't know if you've caught a glimpse of that pineapple, but it looks like it's done for. I'm too hot to mess with it today, but I'd say it's going into the compost pile. Now I have only one thing left that I'm going to do today, and that's the potatoes. So the potatoes have completely died off, so I need to see if there's any potatoes in the bags. Now remember, these were just some leftover potatoes last year that we harvested that were kind of shriveled up, and I planted them. So I don't know what we're going to find. Let's find out. Well, that is a little bit disappointing. Here is the remnant of the seed potato. But not a single one. Now I will tell you, we did successfully grow potatoes in those bags last year, so it definitely works. But not this year. Thankfully, the potato harvest up in Kentucky is plentiful. But that's one thing done in the garden. Well, friends, that is the last garden tour of the 2023 season. All that's left is to pull these tomatoes after the fruit has ripened, and we'll be completely done, and all of this will come down and transfer up to the homestead at Kowalski Mountain. As always, we appreciate you watching, and we really appreciate you subscribing to our channel. Thanks so much for being a part of the Kowalski Mountain family. I'll see you next time.